How's it going, Song of Ice and Fire fans? Grant from Yecats Miniatures here, bringing you another unboxing and analysis for A Song of Ice and Fire, the miniatures game. And today we're looking at House Martell's Starfall Knights. So here we have the box. I don't know who it is they're attacking there. It looks like some other Dornishmen. 4 unique sculpts for this box, which is really cool. Always like when each model's independent of the other models. Get this plastic wrapper off for you. Yeah, it's definitely more... Oh, look at that, look. Camel cavalry in the middle. He's taken a topple, though. Hopefully we'll get some camel cavalry soon. Really nice artwork. All male. It looks like they've reserved the females for the Outriders, which myself and Brett will be covering soon. So we have our standard 4-person cavalry tray. A unit card, which myself and Brett will be going over in more detail after we do the unboxing, so make sure you stick around for that. 8-point unit, nice. So here we have the first sculpt. It's a standard bearer, lots of movement. I really like the actual sculpted sigil on the banner as well. We obviously got the Starfall sigil there, the House Dayne sigils, but loads of movement on the horse and the flowing of the robes around the neck. Really nice miniatures, really nice miniatures. I can't wait to get a paint on these. We have the second sculpt. Again, look at the movement in these miniatures. It's unbelievable. And what I really like about this guy is that left hand sort of reaching out and pointing forward. Also, really nice pose on the spear as well. We don't really see many of these on the on Song of Ice and Fire cavalry. Again, look at the movement, the momentum pushing behind it. Checking out the third sculpt. Again, loads less movement, but still lots of movement, if that makes sense. The sort of the spear held higher with like the towel sort of thing hanging off of the spearhead. But again, just they really got these right with the amount of movement they've got in the miniatures. Obviously the headscarf, the neck scarf in that sort of maybe not some mold lines there, but yeah, the headscarf looks really cool. Really gives that a sense of speed. Here we have another guy pointing his lance forward. And I quite like how they're smaller lances and not like these big, hefty lances. They're much more small, intricate, scalpel-like lances. But again, I really love these miniatures. Really like them. I had to wait quite a while to get them from America, but we got there in the end. So I'm going to leave you with a spinning shot now and go and jump on a call with Brett. How's it going, Brett?
Hey, Grant, how you doing today, man?
Not too bad, mate. We're here. We're talking about some House Martell stuff, and it's hit at the right time because we're just in the middle of a tropical heat wave in the UK. We're being told we're going to get up to 30 degrees heat, which I suppose is a cold day for you guys.
You know, it is. I speak in Fahrenheit, so I don't know what Celsius is, but it's like 85 degrees here. And I'm sitting in my office for the time being. For the next few days, my office is still my work truck, but starting next day, I'm really excited. I'll move to a proper office and be the king of castle sitting in a chair. I might get a chair with wheels. I mean, I don't really know. This is like super cool, man.
Why you just sit on a skateboard? That perfectly leads into what we're going to talk about today, which is some speedy stuff. So although it's not quite you sitting on a skateboard, we are looking and talking about the House Martell Starfall Knights.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about a skateboard, but these guys have a rocket booster attached to their back.
But I still thoroughly believe that these should have been on camels.
May have been a missed opportunity, but I think there's still plenty of design space and plenty of time for them to rectify that mistake. I want a solo camel rider. Like, I just want a badass dude on a camel.
The Oberyn that rides.
Exactly. We demand Oberon on a camel. We demand it.
That's it. It needs to happen. Right. So let's get into the cards. So, so we're looking at 8-point unit, and obviously that's quite a hefty price tag on a unit in this game. But we'll discuss that again in a minute. We've got a 6-inch move. We've got the Starfall Lance attack ability, which is a 6/4 profile hitting on a 3+. We have a 4+ armor save and a 5+ morale. They've got the standard cavalry rule, which we don't really need to go over. People know that rule by now. And the Starfall Lance. So it's got Sundering naturally, as we come to expect from the Lance. It has the when charging rolls +2 attack dice for each remaining rank in this unit, which we come to expect from the Lance rule. And we also have this extra little booster attached to it as well, which is if attacking an enemy in the flank or rear before rolling attack dice, that enemy becomes panicked and weakened. Is that just ambush, just bolted onto the Lance rule?
It's actually funny because it's better ambush. So ambush only works when they're charging. The Starfall Knights get the ambush benefit always. So they don't have to be charging. So if you're in a grind and you're in their flank and you make an attack off of the swords or off of an activation while engaged, they'll still get those tokens. Ambush only happens when you charge though, so it's actually interesting. I'm sure it was deliberate. It was done by design. Obviously, if they wanted them to just have ambush, they would have added that, but they've decided to give them some more tokens. Martells, another token farmer.
Yeah, I mean, Johnny, that completely escaped me. I guess because it says when charging rolls +2 attack dice on the Lance bit above it, I naturally assumed that this would be ambush on the charge. But yeah, now you've said that, I've actually read it properly. Yeah, you're right. It's whenever they attack in the flank or rear. So that's actually quite cool. I quite like that. So, what's your initial thoughts on the Starfall Knights then?
I mean, I think if you like Lance Cavalry, you're gonna love these guys, and that's really just all there is to it. They are the second. I mean, they're tied for the fastest Lance Cav. They're there with the Highgarden, the Riders of Highgarden, but these guys hit on a 3+ instead of a 4+. So essentially, you've got a package where you're trading off 1 point of defense for a +1 morale compared to Tully Cav and Knights of Castle Rock. I mean, Tully Cav have Bolton, so they're basically a morale 5. But so you're giving a little bit of armor for a better morale. But these guys are so fast. They are just so fast. Now you mix that in with Cunning Ploy basic deck. You mix that in with Spearmen as a basic unit, bringing tactical reposition. To me, it seems like getting the alpha charge off with these guys isn't going to be a problem, even if you're out activated. That's the biggest appeal to me. In addition to that, similar to Tully Cav with Catelyn, you've got Ilaria on the Martell side to remove weaken tokens. Everybody wants to weaken the Lance Cav because they throw so many dice, but you've got Ilaria waiting in the wings to go ahead and pull those tokens off. I think they're pretty good, man. Yeah, they're really good. They do a nice job of at least making you consider whether you want to run them or flayed. And I think it depends on what your list is and what your list hopes to accomplish as to which one you pick. But I think there's merit to both of them.
Yeah, I mean, so it's strange because we look at this unit and we've got two separate comparisons that we're going to make on there that I personally would make. So the first is obviously, as you say, the Riders of Highgarden. They seem to mirror them quite well. So it's certainly like hitting on 3+ is a lot better because obviously you know that a weaken token can absolutely destroy a Riders of Highgarden charge. And also the 8 points. So for 8 points, you can actually get the Bolton flayed men for that. So there are sort of, for me, there's two quite obvious comparisons there. But I really like them. As I say, with a Cunning Ploy, that gets them moving quicker. And also, obviously, there is a lot of set for charge built into the Martell army with the spearmen. So there's lots of ways of that keeping the units alive, that bit of attrition, to make sure these guys are hitting the flank, which isn't going to take a lot to sort of do. So So obviously the Riders of Highgarden won't really come into this conversation because, although we can compare them across faction, they're never going to be in the same army. But so, do you feel that these would take precedence over or preferential treatment over the flayed men, or would you rather be taking these? Because I'm a much more of a faction purist. I'd rather keep things within factions as much as I can. But there's no denying that flayed men are good, and for 8 points, they are. I'd probably say they're on the level with these guys. What do you think on that?
I think honestly, again, it depends on what you're doing. It depends on what the list is. I think the answer is yes. They're just both good. I can't give you a definitive answer on which one is better.
Tell me how to win with them, Brett. Tell me how to win.
Tell you how to win. I think the idea is shift, move, boom. I don't know, something like that.
Shift, move, boom. Nice.
Shift, move, boom. No, I know a lot of people, and just want to kind of put this out there and nip it in the bud. I see a lot of people online. I see a lot of people in these forum discussions saying things like, well, you're just going to put Nymeria on them, you're going to give them critical blow, and then they're throwing 10 dice for critical blow. It's absolutely insane. It's actually not correct. Nymeria can only influence infantry. So as tempting as it is to just be able to influence with an NCU and get critical blow, she can't. So as far as critical blow goes, you've got Obara Commander, who can give them reckless strikes, which is critical blow and precision. This is a really nice card to play on them. So if you're running Obara, you might consider the Starfall Knights over the Flayed Men. That's going to be a really nasty charge. In terms of Harman Uller, it depends on what you want from the list, because the Flayed Men with Battle Endurance do a really nice grind. They benefit from almost all of those keywords, but again, with the Starfall Knights, if you wait until round 5 when you're getting critical blow, they'll have critical blow. If you get them to round 6 and they're still running around, you'd be throwing 12 dice with Sundering, critical blow, rerolls no matter what, and that's just, stuff's just going to die. But I think overall, again, it depends on how you're wanting to play the game. If you're playing more of an attrition, you're grinding, you're doing the Martell thing, maybe you take Flayed Men. If you are like me and you just like to kill stuff, you might go ahead and lean into the Starfall Knights. It really just depends, and they've got the flexibility to do that with either of these units of cavalry. Now, I like the Starfall Knights personally because getting that unit into a flank is going to make stuff dead, period. And they can do that pretty easily.
Yeah, I mean, I really like them. I think they've got play in the army. I've got a couple of boxes of them, so I'll give them a run. The miniatures are really nice. The only downside is they're not on camels. So, and I would die on that hill that they should have been camels, but whatever. So let's just quickly talk about attachments then. So there's only 2 attachments available to Martell Cavalry. That is the Fortune Seeker, bringing Dauntless and Motivated by Coin, and the newly revamped Glory Seeker, bringing Iron Resolve and Stubborn Tenacity. Now, obviously, using these guys on this unit makes them a 9-point unit, which is a hell of a spend on a unit in this game. Do you think any of them are worth attaching to it? Would you use any attachments in these units?
Grant, I'm going to be honest. I just don't think that the Glory Seeker is ever a bad choice for a unit of cavalry. So I would swear, and I don't know this, but I would swear that the Glory Seeker was specifically designed, and I'm going to say it's almost like I don't want to say meta tampering, because I don't want to accuse the developers of doing something like that. It could be perceived as negative, but I just feel like the Glory Seeker was designed the way that he's designed because of what you see in the meta. So the most common thing that you're seeing with factions that run solos is they're just going to charge their solo into a unit of heavy cavalry, and they're just going to lock that unit down as long as they can, especially Lance Cavalry. So if you're adding the Glory Seeker, given that these guys are already a morale of 5, they're going to take most of their panics on a 4+. At that point, they should be passing and doing chip wounds with Stubborn Tenacity. Then you've got ranged attacks being very popular in the meta, so you can then just fire into the combat, and essentially you'll grind that solo unit down that's trying to tie them up just by auto-wounding with the Glory Seeker. And then if that solo dies, your Lance Cav is free to charge. Because the big thing is, a lot of times in the game, it's just a matter of a delay. Like, okay, well, if I can delay this charge for one full round and I make them have to spend their activation to kill this solo, I'm in business. I can go do what I need to do, and then by the time the lance cav get cleared up, maybe the game's already turned or something else has already happened. It's more or less about getting that delay to get what you need done. And the Glory Seeker makes that a difficult thing to do because those auto wounds can really start to add up. And even if you don't kill them with the Stubborn Tenacity by shooting in, like I said, if you chip them once or twice, 6 attack dice on a 3+ with Sundering is really not a bad profile anyway. So if you take a wound or two off of that solo, you're very likely to kill them with your attack, and then you're free for the next round. The bad situation that happens is when you don't kill that unit, like it's a 3 or 4 wound solo, and you're not able to kill it because you don't have the dice. But I think the Glory Seeker getting those auto wounds makes it a very, very strong possibility that happens.
Yeah, I can see that. So was you, in your list building then, are you likely to put a Glory Seeker into the unit?
If I had the point for an attachment, I think so. The way that I build Martells, though, I think my first attachment would generally be a Spear Lord because I like the Skirmishers. I think Skirmishers with a Spear Lord would be the priority, but if I didn't have that, like if I wanted to run double Royal Guard and some heavy cav or something, I could definitely see a list where you've got double Royal Guard, Starfall Knights or Flayed Men, either way, with a Glory Seeker and then your Spearmen to house your commander, and that seems like a really solid list to me.
Yeah, and I just want to touch on something you said a minute ago as well, which is Abara Sand being quite good with this unit, because she's one of the lesser used commanders for Martells, and as we know, the more offensive commanders tend to be used less. So it's good to see there's a unit that she sort of works well with, just to see her on the table a bit more, because the miniature's really nice as well.
Yeah, I think Abara is actually, I think she's good. I think she's better than maybe she's given credit for. I mean, her attachment alone just comes with such an amazing set of abilities. I mean, she's got Reckless Heroism, Fueled by Slaughter, and Sundering, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
That is a very beefy profile for a commander attachment. I think she's really good. When I initially started playing Martells, I was running Obara and Uller, of course, Uller. I switched around and played Roos a little bit, but lately I've kind of been feeling Obara again. I really quite like her.
Right, okay, man, cool. So yeah, final thoughts are these. I like these. They're good. 8 points is a chunk to spend, but I think you're getting 8 points worth out of them as long as you use them correctly. Am I right?
Yeah, I think so. I think they're right on par with Tully Cav.
Okay, guys, thanks for the conversation, Brett. I really appreciate it. It's really cool to talk through these Martell stuff with you, and it's really nice to see the Martells getting fleshed out. And thanks to you guys for coming along and listening to me and Brett talk stuff about the newest faction in A Song of Ice and Fire. We appreciate your support. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, because it really does help the YouTube analytics. Yeah, you got any more to add, Brett? Or you Martelled out for today?
I think we'll save some of it for the faction overview.
True that. Take care, guys. I'll speak to you soon.
See ya.